Hopefully I've made the cut for the Sunday video. Been thinking about it, and golly, the couple of videos came out today that are pretty good. Upstate Arms 1, I'll put a link in the description below. He's part of the circle, so check him out. Good video. Kind of goes against what I'm going to be talking about right now, because he is more like, let's not be political, but here I am going to make my political video. Apathy. I'd almost have to look up that word, because it's not a word that I would normally use in a sentence, but it's certainly something I feel about politics, because the situation I see with the politics right now, it's almost a no-win situation for me, the way I see it as far as national politics goes. Either on the one hand, you had this most terrible, heinous, stolen election in the history of mankind. Perhaps the greatest stolen election in all history. Or, okay, that was not appropriate. Or two, we had a president who tried to steal back the presidency after not being duly elected. So it puts you in a real funky situation if you're a patriotic, red-blooded American. You know, what do? It certainly seems, and I might be wrong, but it certainly seems what happens if you go too far in the other direction and you go down to the Capitol like what everybody was told to do. That was pretty messed up. And to watch that unroll, and then to watch the way that it was handled, that was pretty wild. Not what I was expecting out of either side towards that. No, I stand corrected. I expected more. Hang on a second. I expected more from the Trump side, and then got exactly what I expected from the Biden side. You know, the Biden side was more trying to link him into the condemnation, and then on the Trump side, you know, I was expecting a little more diffusion, which we just flat out didn't directly see. So, yeah. So it puts me in the position to where, trust me, as far as politics goes, you're better off with me being apathetic. Apathetic? I'm much better off being in this place, just writing it off. And like an Upstate Arms video, there's other things we could certainly talk about on like a closer to home, closer to personal level. You know, I've had personal relationships that have changed quite a bit in the last few years, and there are things that I could get a lot more out of hashing out with y'all than we're trying to figure out this madness of a political spectrum that we're under, you know. But I'm all ears. I mean, we can move both forward if you want. Specifically, nah, I don't even want to bring it up. No, I'll bring it up. So the Durham filing. The Durham filing reminds me of something that I thought we went over last year with the whole Sussman thing, and in my research found out, yes, in fact, some of this stuff is old news. The media, right-wing specifically, is playing it up as like the crime of the century, you know, really hanging on to a sentence that's in this filing, which I'll put a link to the filing below if you want to read it for yourself, because that's what I did. I read it for myself. And maybe things mean something differently than what I think they do. But I'm not saying they're necessarily making a mountain out of a molehill. But when something alleges, it doesn't necessarily need to be true. Because a person is being indicted doesn't necessarily make things factual. You know, facts and situations are something that's revealed in a court of law, and people deserve their day in court. I find that jumping the gun and just running off at the mouth like what I've been seeing, I don't like that. And it brings me to some of the other things that are so wrong, where a person doesn't have to be arrested. No, scratch that. A person doesn't have to be actually convicted. They just merely have to be arrested, and they're all of a sudden certain rights are withdrawn from them. How crazy is that? So all of a sudden your certain rights to trial have been removed. How far do we have to go with these civil rights? You know? Then the left side of the spectrum with the Durham report, they went really far in the other direction, saying there's nothing to it as it pertains to the information from the executive office of the president, as in the information they gathered from the White House. They said that Durham's timeline is way off, and that was actually from the Obama administration when they were studying IP addresses and seeing like who was accessing the White House's internet. So it's almost like the signals are getting crossed, which didn't really surprise me, having read that, because I read quite a few going back to the stolen election. I read quite a few court cases, like whenever everybody was complaining about, not everybody. This is why I don't make long videos, people. But you know what? You wanted a long video, so just sit your ass down and listen. This is what you get. The fucking road's only paved for like a mile, then it goes into the dirt. And we're in the dirt, solid. So, as these court cases were coming through against the election results, I was reading these, and I don't know if you've read any of the court case, like the accusations and everything. It's gobbledygook. I mean, literally makes no sense, or it's the ravings of just nonsensical bullshit, and it's disappointing. Now, I don't know what it's supposed to look like if it's real. I don't know what you do have, but elections go through a very certain process, and it seemed to me that, you know, in the case of the election, Trump was getting advice from just people who were saying, well, this is what here's our legal recourse for this process, not necessarily what was true or what was right. And meanwhile, Rudy Giuliani is spitting off all this other information, just running the gambit and just talking, you know? Then you have a big old mess on your hands. So I don't know. I don't know, after reading the right side's findings of everything, listening to Trump's findings of everything, I don't know, reading the left side of everything, it's much ado about nothing. But I'll tell you what, when you're in the position of calling for people to be put to death, and you've got people who support you that could conceivably follow through on these things, I mean, you're playing with a loaded gun, man. It's a crazy time. So you're much better off with everybody being apathetic about this. Because it's not quite enough for me to say the balloon's gone up. It's a long way from there. I'll tell you right now, when it is time for the balloon to go up, there ain't going to be no question about it. It ain't going to be no hearsay, no nothing. That's just my 2 cents. Your mileage may vary. This video is satire, so you know, completely. The names have been changed to protect the innocent, and complete fiction. Hope you all entertained by it, and just for entertainment purposes only. Catch you on the next video.